Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about a topic that I know every single person can relate to, and this is how do we stay motivated to, whether it be to lose weight or really do whatever it is that we have a vision for. And, this is something that comes up over and over when I talk to people, on Facebook or YouTube or my Instagram is like, I know exactly what to do, but I just can't get myself to do the thing that I know I'm supposed to do. And so that's what this talk is going to be all about, okay? Because the thing is, everybody is looking for the strategy of what to do, and they're trying to figure out, I just haven't found the right plan or the right diet or the right person or whatever it is. And it has nothing to do with really having the right strategy. And it has everything to do with how you're really knowing what you want and how you align yourself on a consistent basis. And so I'm going to take you through, the steps that I use that keeps me relentlessly focused with my goals to show up no matter what, and how I really train myself to show up on the days that it's the last thing that I want to do, on the days where working out is the last thing I want to do, or, eating well, or going for a walk is the last thing I want to do. How do I get myself to do it? So it all starts off with, it's three things, okay? And the first thing is really naming what you want. You must know what it is you want, okay? What is it that you want to create? And a lot of people kind of understand. They're like, I think I really want a six pack. I really want to look good at my clothes. I want my clothes to feel good and blah, blah, blah. But that's not deep enough. It's just so superficial. It doesn't create any sort of activation of energy within you. And so you really got to get clear. If there was no limit, what would that be? What would your dream vision be? Okay. And for me, when I see myself, I create a picture in my head that is so vivid that I can taste it. I have this 10-second clip of what I look like, what I'm doing, who I'm with, the impact that I'm making. And when I can get really clear about it, it activates a lot of emotion. It activates a lot of energy that gets me fired up about it. Okay, so that's the first thing that you guys really want to do is get clear on what is it do I want? What is it that's really important to me? And to do this, at first you may not understand, or you may not be very, may not have a good idea of what is important to me? And so you just got to go inside and just close your eyes, connect to your heart, and really just go inside and ask yourself, what is important to me? What is it that I wish to know? Is it to obsess over food and obsess over the gym and be this crazy person that is, whose life is run by food in the gym? Or do I wish to have know a life with more peace and freedom where I can go I can go all day and not even have to worry about what meal am I eating next, or what workout, not stress over workout, and be able to just have fun and have energy, and what is it that you want, and have connection. And the thing is, we need to have such a specific target, because if we don't know what we're after, then we can't align ourselves. We can't see ourselves in that position. And so, it's kind of like when you're pulling a bow and arrow. The first thing that you have to do if you're going to shoot the arrow is you have to look at the target. If you don't look at the target before you shoot that arrow, the chances are really slim that you're going to hit the target. So we need a target, and we need that target to be so clear and so specific on whatever it is that you know. You don't have to, it may be fuzzy at first and it gets clearer over time, but just start to put the pieces together of what is important to you. And so, for example, for me, I want to know a sense of vitality in the body. And vitality to me means I've just got this abundance amount of energy. I want to go do things. I spend time in nature. I connect with people, and during gatherings, I'm focusing on the connection, and I'm not focused on the food or what workout I'm going to do later. I want to know a self, a oneness, a connectedness with myself, and feel at peace. I don't want to feel I've got a million things that I got to do. I don't want to feel anxious, so I want to find this sense of peace and calm and just aliveness and enthusiasm for the gym. And I want to be athletic. So I see myself, there's a skit that I play over and over in my head, and it's just the same skit all day long. I just see it over and over, and I've trained this in me. And this is what you guys need to start doing, is get yourself so clear on what it is you want, and create a picture in your mind that's so clear that you can taste it. Okay. And then the second thing is you got to claim it. You got to say, this is mine to do, damn it. This is a must for me. And I'm going to fulfill this. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And you must get really clear on why this is important to you. Like, why must you have this? And the reason for this is because emotion drives our action. Like, just knowing what we want, that's just a start, but it doesn't really, it gets things a little bit fired up, but it doesn't really drive you. And so we have to get really clear, like, why is it imperative? Why must I fulfill this? Why is it important to you? And you have to feel it within yourself. What's important is that this, your why, wakes you up and lights you up and activates a sense of passion and strength that you're willing to literally do whatever is required in order to get it. And so for me, like, my why, like, there's just so many things. Like, I mean, there's two things. I mean, like, the people that I impact, the impact that I want to have on people, and how, like, I want to do that through the vitality and health of my body and show other women how to do it. And so that's one of my whys. I do it for other people because I want to make a difference in other people's lives. And then my other why is just like, I just want to know a sense of just total self-love and peace and connectedness and fullness, where I'm happy about my decisions. I'm happy about who I am, and so it just fills me up, and nothing can really disturb me of my peace when I feel so confident in myself, and so that is some reasons why I must have this. And I know that when I am at my best self, when I am fully confident and I love myself, the good and the flaws, I show up as my best self. I can provide more to other people. I can make an impact. I can also not let anything affect me or influence my happiness. Okay. And so get clear, claim it. Why is this a must for you? Why is this yours to own? And then the third thing is you got to train it. If I fulfilled this thing, what would I know? What would I have? What would it mean to me? What would it mean to my work, my relationships? What would it mean to my family members? And what would I be able to experience as a result of fulfilling this? Okay. And so we really got to understand, like, man, if I just executed this walk, or this, if I ate this meal for breakfast, or if I if I worked out, or I even, I have to use this for resting, because if I don't take rest, then I just don't stop. And that in and of itself, like, it doesn't get me anywhere. So, why must I rest? And if I were to do these things, what would that give me? What would that create for me? What would I be able to know, have, and experience as a result of doing this thing that I'm struggling to do? And so that is, like, basically the series of what we need, the process of what we need to do before we take any action, before we start any diet, before we, start any workout program. Is you got to know what it is I want, right? And why is it important to you? And then, if I did this thing, what would I know? Okay. And then once you understand that, then it's a matter of training it, right? And I mean, like, really training it. Like, every single day, you're aligning yourself, you're reminding yourself of this. I have alarms on my phone. I teach my clients how to do this. And we're constantly aligning. And that way, we don't find ourselves always taking one step forward, one step back, one step forward, two steps back. It's always one step forward, one step forward, one step forward. Every once in a while, we'll go one step back, but it's always these little things. And the only way we can do that is if we're constantly reminding ourselves of what's important to us, why it's important, and what it would mean to us, okay? And we just have to activate that constantly, at least once a day, preferably several times a day, and specifically right when you wake up and right when you go to bed, so you have your unconscious self actually working for you, okay? And so, again, it's not about what you're doing. It's all about knowing what you want, seeing it so clearly that, and then reminding yourself, training yourself to align with that vision that you have, emotionally, like with the way that you feel, with your thoughts, and then with your actions. So when I see myself in my, with my vision, I can feel how I would, I can feel what it would feel like. I feel this sense of empowerment and love and peace and passion and inspiration and vitality. And so when I feel those things, like, I train that. I show up with everything that I do, everything that I do, like mundane tasks and everything, in my workouts, like in cleaning the house, in my relationships. I try to bring that. I train it, because these feelings, when we feel that way, we are more likely to take the action that is going to deliver the result, versus if we're feeling sad, frustrated, depressed, and we're letting things trigger us. So we need to train ourselves to feel what it would feel like to have this. And then we also have to train ourselves to think in the way that that person would think, and then take the actions that that person would take. Okay, so it's literally like, okay, I see my future self, future Nat, and my work is to literally align myself, step into the shoes of that future person, both emotionally, mentally, and physically. So through the way that I feel, the things that I think, and the things that I do. Okay, and then I'm just reminding myself, hey, don't forget, this is what I'm after. This is why I'm after it. Hey, don't forget, this is what would future Nat do? What would she do? And then I train myself on a daily basis to become that person. And that is literally, we retrain our personality. We reinvent our personality to become the person we need to become, so that we can fulfill the vision that we have for our body. And that's the key, guys, because we all have these patterns that are holding us back. And if you don't reprogram the patterns, if you don't retrain your habits, then you will never get to the place that you want to be. You will never bridge the gap from who you are to who you want to be. You have to retrain it, okay? And to retrain it, it takes consistent focus, okay? So all day, every day, and then intensity, knowing what you want and understanding why you want it, so that it brews an intense emotion within you, that it ignites you in such a way that you're just so fired up that you just got to do something, and you don't even know what you got to do, but you just got to do it, and using that fuel, you got to activate that during the days where you don't feel like doing it the most, and remembering, hey, if I want to become this person, this is how I need to act. This is how I need to think. This is the thing that I need to do. And then you train yourself over and over and over until you become that person, okay? Because the only reason why you don't have what you want is just because you are not that person yet. And so you have to retrain yourself to become that person. And that is when you will have the thing that you want, okay? So hopefully, I know you've probably heard this stuff before, but it really is true. And I just think that people kind of let it go through one ear and out the other, and they don't really put the emotion behind it. They don't put the intensity behind it. And then they don't consistently focus on it. They're just like, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool, that's it. Right? And this is why so many people, they lose their focus in the beginning of the year. Their New Year's goals, they last 3 weeks, and then they're like, what was my goal again? No, you have to train yourself to consistently align all day, every day, in any way you can. Put up sticky notes, put in alarms in your phone, have little pictures everywhere to remind yourself, this is what I'm after, this is why I'm after it. And align yourself with that person, okay? So this is a huge part of what we do in my academy, of how I train my clients, because if you don't have this, there's no point in doing any diet or trying to achieve anything that you want. So, this mindset piece is critical. And, if you're having trouble, doing this on your own, hit me up, send me a message. I'd love to help you. This is really the key. This is the thing that makes all the difference. And if you can get yourself to do this, then you can get yourself to do anything. So hopefully that helps you guys. I'd love to know what you're taking away from this. If you like that, if you like more of this, let me know, comment below, reach out to me. And let's just start creating our vision, start creating those bodies, and creating the life that we want. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later. Bye.